Replacing the dash in a Gbody. Here's some tricks. Alright, Gbody guys, gals, Gbody folks. About to learn on you something. When you're replacing the dash in these cars, I've watched a lot of videos, checked a lot of people out. They tell you they tell you a bunch. I tried to figure it out and see if there's an easier way to do it, and I think there is. So, see the hood popped. They tell you to pop the hood and go under there and loosen some bolts. It doesn't need to happen, and I'll show you why. Alright, so I got an 86 Monte Carlo SS. A lot of Gbodies should be about the same. So, you can see the dash is out. I have found out that if you watch other videos, they tell you a bunch. They tell you that this is, you got to take this out, you got to disconnect all that, you got to get under there and disconnect the fuse block to take that loose from there, and then get under the hood and loosen it so you can separate it from the firewall. Mine's still connected. What I did is, okay, so some of them have screws under the speaker cover. A screw. One screw there, and a screw in the corner of your defrost vent. Mine actually just had two. So if you see you got two in the defrost, there's none in the speakers. So the speaker cover is, well, that's most of the time still got to come out. These are probably just all jacked up. So you take those off and disconnect your speaker, take your speakers out. Then it's these. You got one in the corner on the bottom. You got one in here. Once you get your radio, well, you don't even have to take the radio out per se, but you get the radio out, get your AC. This doesn't have to come out. You see mine's still connected, still hanging. I loosened it, pushed it in the dash. Take this screw out. You got one more in that bottom corner. And then they tell you to take the steering column loose. Get under there and fight with the bolt that's up in the firewall housing top section. But if you look, mine, they're slotted. Most of them probably are, because fighting with that steering column and getting the dashboard in is got to be made a lot simpler. So if you loosen the direction box, this should slide out. I don't see why the top part's necessary. So with that being said, I think the easy way to do it is loosen the steering column. 1, 2, 3 bolts in the bottom, 4 across the top, whether they're going to be one in here and one in each corner, or like this one, just these. Speakers, radio. The bezel, I don't believe has to come off either, because if you see, that's just a push connector. So all I did was got behind it, squeeze it, disconnected it from the back, push my hand in once everything is out, found out where my wire was connected to the inside of the dash, just popped them loose. The glove box does not have to come off. Just disconnect your wires from here. The glove box can stay, unless it's full of stuff like mine and you don't want to dump it everywhere, then take it out, empty it, whatever. I had a little mounting sensor relay something mounted here. When you're down there disconnecting your bottom corner, I had one ground wire on here, the park and brake release, and these 2 little screws here, and they hold that box in. Once you disconnect these 2 little screws, all the electronics and wires on this side come off. They're right there. And there's a light. Stuck a flathead in the bottom, popped it loose, got the little foot light off. And you see my wiring, or my fuse block, still connected to the wall. I didn't mess with any of that. So pushed all the wiring loose from it, took all the screws out, and she fell in my lap. what I'm telling you. So I don't believe those steps are necessary. I mean, let me know if I'm wrong. Tic-tac it down there in the bottom, but I believe that this is the easiest way. Is just top screws, bottom screws, radio, AC, push that in. Once you get this open, you get your panel here with your cover out of the way. I just stuck my hand in there and just pop this loose from the dash all the way down. Got my little electronics out of the corner, and the dash just slid right out. So I connected everything back. I'm gonna put it all back together over there, leave my steering column just a little loose for the reinstall, and I will make another video on that to just show that it's a little easier than it looks, because there's not much to it, guys. So let me know if I'm wrong, let me know if this helped, let me know if it hurt. But yeah, that should be the tricks to getting the dash out of these Gbodies.